My Soulmate's a Slime by admay19 5 Cooking and Endearments. Shedding Tree. Maybe we should camp here for the night, Rimuru says as he got down from Ranga and hopped towards his companions. Seeing how absolutely weary they are from their 2 days non-stop travel, he decided to stop the moment they stepped on an exquisite clearing. Why exquisite? Because of the floors surrounding most of it, and he's quite proud of that description. Speaking of exhaustion. Not for his butler though, but the princesses who were still perched on the back of the wolves. Maeva had draped herself on the furry body of Ranga, the wolf nudging her hair affectionately. Maya did the same as soon as Diablo, or Noir as that is what the sisters like to call him, got down from the wolf and scanned the surroundings. Gosh, there's still a day left before we reach the Elven's domain. I'm beat. Can't we just use your universal portal, Nei-chan? The youngest princess complained, eyes closed as she enjoyed the warmth provided by the wolf. No can do. We do not know what is out there. You're used to long trip missions though, the older answered her sister before straightening and getting down from Ranga. Don't worry. You'll get your full rest tonight. I'll make sure of it, darling, Noir claims, patting Maya's back gently, who hummed appreciatively. Rimuru shifted into his human form, effortlessly building a fire with but a snap of his fingers. Master, allow me to scout the area for a bit, Noir asked, walking towards his leader. He could easily command his powers to do it, but it seems everyone's doing it manually today, so he'll do the same. I leave it to you, and might as well gather more firewoods on your back. Noir bowed. As you wish, sir. He then vanished into the shadows, leaving without a trace, but not before winking at his soulmate. I shall cook our dinner tonight. Maeva sat down beside Rimuru, who eyed her warily. You see, there is a little bit of a hassle and kinda a problem when someone volunteers to cook meals for everyone. Rimuru couldn't help but picture those purple delicacies, with their aggressive menace and uncut ingredients, courtesy of his secretary Xian. What if it turns to be like that, or worst? He felt bad for already judging his soulmate's cooking skills, but those images just keeps on rampaging in his mind. Oi, are you thinking bad about my sister's talent in the kitchen? Rimuru gulped in surprise as he slowly turns to see Maya standing there with her arms crossed, eyes holding fire. Of course not. Why would I even think like that? My mind is blank, I promise. He quickly denies the accusation, realizing he had made a bad call. If Maya is this defensive, then it only means one thing. No Xian comparison. Let me give you some important information. Yes, ma'am. Your soulmate, my sister, is not only a princess of Alvarez, she too is the queen of the kitchen. Every royal family who visits our empire couldn't get enough of her food. How dare you think badly of her precious cooking skills? I didn't know. I'm so sorry, your highness. This humble servant is ignorant sometimes. I will not think of anything related to your sister's cooking again. I promise. He rubbed his hands together as he apologizes, and Maeva could only smile in amusement, now busy on preparing the ingredients. Well then, humble servant, why don't you assist me with tonight's dinner? Rimuru, hearing the call of his soulmate, quickly complied in an attempt to escape the cute mess he had created. Only to have another shock of his life upon seeing what's before him. And that is when he snapped. I knew your other worlders. These cooking utensils you have, these ingredients, how do you even get them? Did you summon them? And don't even try denying it, Maeva. Maeva flinched at his sudden outburst, but then she giggled. Maya, if you'd please do the explaining, the enchantress requested, to which the younger nodded proudly before opening her mouth to speak. Your Majesty, stop with that, Rimuru quickly cut her off. Well then, King, not that either, ruler of Tempest. Stop with the titles, I say, what the heck? Do you want to listen to the information you wanted or not? Then stop with the lengthy introduction and get on with it. Maeva could only sigh as she listens to the duo bicker back and forth, her hands flying, cutting and separating the ingredients with precision. At the end of it all, Rimuru gained the answer he wanted, only to have his brain go into overdrive. Apparently, the sisters were raised in the very world where he came from. Zarif himself brought them there with his universal time travel abilities. The only reason Zarif did that was to protect his siblings from his overwhelming aura, leaving them there with enough people to look after them. He was also told about their dragon slayer brother, Natsu, and the older twin of Maeva. Natsu, unlike them, was brought to a dragon named Ignil, who gladly took him under his wing till he found Fairytale and became an official member. Zarif had brought them back to Alvarez after they've come of age, and has full control of their magical abilities. 3 years after, the Alvarez Emperor took them to Magnolia, where they were reunited with Natsu, and the rest was history. How in the world? To think that these Dragneel siblings could get everywhere they wanted, including the realm where came from. And now, Maeva could summon everything she wanted from that said realm, or they could just use Universal Portal and go there, no biggie. Your brains fried yet? Maya nudges Rimuru, who was still eyeing the snacks Maeva summoned to prove their point. Don't ask me, this is all too much information, says the one who has many plans at once when he decides it's time to go genius and gets all crazy with all these ideas and plannings. Maya retorts. Huh? It is indeed too much even to me. In a good kind of way, the familiar voice of Noir resonated in the air before he materializes with the dried woods in his hold. Oh, you are back, Noir. Good timing. Dinner is ready. I hope you are starving. Let's have a feast tonight. Maya smiled, waving at him to sit with them. Noir chuckles, delighted, before doing as requested. I am indeed famished, my future queen, and this is some extraordinary food. Maeva could only blink at the unexpected title given to her by the butler. Future queen? Does he mean Tempest? Isn't it a bit early? Not that she's complaining or anything. It's the food from my previous world, Diablo. Foods that I haven't managed to replicate in Tempest yet. My soulmate's quite the talent. I still can't comprehend. Rimuru answers him, popping a piece of snack in his mouth. And yeah, how about I crown her queen after this mission? The males were rather enjoying the flustered and annoyed state of Maeva until someone decided to be a spoilsport. Yeah, go ahead and do that. But expect an unforgivable tons of scolding from the Emperor of Alvarez and High Prince Natsu. Anyways, you wouldn't die from a little fire Maya sassed, flipping her hair dramatically. The duo shared knowing glances, and admitting doing that would actually stir trouble for Tempest. Not the war kind of stir, but enough to scare if they were being honest. Right. I wouldn't do that. I'll get the Emperor's trust first. Noir, let's eat. Rimuru quickly dismissed the tension and grabbed his plate. I shall enjoy these dishes, then. Thank you for the food, Noir muses. Thank you for the food. The Tempest King repeated as well before digging in. The burst of flavors that exploded in his tongue made him grin happily. Aha, Maeva, my sweet baby, this is to die for. Maeva's eyes widens at the sudden endearment, feeling her cheeks heat up. Just what in the world is up with this slime sometimes? Report. Soulmate's positive response. Fast heartbeat. Rimuru smirked at the confirmation. I knew I had this effect on her. He whispers proudly to himself, quickly planning on what to do to fluster her more till a voice smashed those all away. This queen of the stars. That is cringe coming from you. Do better. As if Noir's endearment of darling is much more creative. Noir could only chuckle in amusement at the retort. Well, the endearment darling is what he sees fit for his little queen of the stars. She'd smack him for calling her little, but what can he do? His Maya is still his little darling after all. Maeva pinched the gap between her eyebrows before she decided to end the argument calmly. Leaning closer to her soulmate, she planted her lips on his cheeks, gently lingering there for a few moments, taking the trio by surprise. Pulling away, she smiles at the frozen king before placing meat on his plate. Eat a lot, Silence. Yosh, now that's settled. With the sisters already turning in for the night, Noir and Rimuru sat by the fire, their eyes on the blazing flames, both busy with their own thoughts for a while. Hey Diablo. Yes, Rimuru-sama? You really cool being called Noir again? The butler smiles, touched by his master's concern. It's fine for me, sir. If it's what my soulmate and future queen wanted to call me, then who am I to deny them? Usually, you won't even allow others to call you that anymore. Yes, but it's different for the siblings. I feel happy when they call me that. Rimuru nods, agreeing. Yes, he named him, but he confirmed the sisters were quite uncomfortable calling him that. And his subordinate seems cool with it, so it's no big deal. Rimuru-sama. Yeah? What's up, man? Were you serious about earlier? You'd really crown our queen this early? Rimuru turns to look at the tent of the sisters, a smile adorning his lips. Yeah, I'm serious about that. I don't see why not. But Maya is right. It would annoy Alvarez and maybe even Fairy Tail if I would take their high princess just like that. I figured. But that aside, I wonder if Alvarez would want to enter into a diplomatic relationship with Tempest, Noir save voicing out his concerns. That was also the worry for the ruler of Tempest. Even with Maya and Maeva soulmated to Tempest, their nation is but a blooming novice compared to the so-called Great Empire. You said Emperor Zarif is an old friend? He asked his butler. Yes, and still is, sir. So, how is he like? Noir chuckled lowly at that. He is but the same as you, my king. He dreams of a place where everyone can coexist peacefully. Alvarez may be a great empire, but Zarif always makes sure that his feet's planted on the grounds.